So, very good morning here on Wolf of Dubai, and I will prepare you for a brand new week on the stock market, okay? I don't know how about you, but I cannot wait always on the weekends when the markets open on Monday. It's always, a great way to start the week with obviously pretty green futures, okay? S&P 500 about 0.4% up, Dow Jones 0.3%, which was one of the best performing indexes last couple of days since August, guys. So pretty nice. Obviously, it's easy to say when September was absolutely catastrophic. And then we have Nasdaq futures 0.54. And I would like to start with this thumbnail that we chose here for this live stream. Crash, they said. I don't see any, and I said it many times. I see a very good setup for a year-end rally, so I hope you are inside this market and enjoying those daily gains. Then we will have some stimulus, we will have some earnings, so very good potential drivers to drive the market to new highs. Now, if you haven't done it already, make sure to smash that like button. This is always highly appreciated. And follow me on Instagram because after the stream ends and after you watch all the other vlogs that are interesting for you on this channel, then you can follow me on Instagram where I'm sharing more and more about, my life, Dubai, and stocks in general. Now, let us see what is important to watch this week, okay? So today we don't have many events. Tuesday we are looking into the core inflation rate, so this will be interesting to see if we are having and steering towards the goal of the Federal Reserve of 2% inflation rate. However, the inflation can be, or was always for decades and decades, always something that they chased to be perfect, but on the other side was not that, easy to reach, right? Because there's so many things that coming into consideration if going into the inflation, and if you have such a never before setup with the health crisis and so on, unemployment, then it's really hard to steer the inflation. However, we will know more about that tomorrow. Then Wednesday, MBA mortgage applications, PPI, MOM, Federal Clarida speech, Federal Qual speech, Fed Kaplan speech, so a couple of speeches there. Thursday, jobless claims, obviously, manufacturing index, crude oil stocks change, what else? Friday, it's, I think, more important with retail sales, which give us always a nice indication how the consumer feel on the street. Then industrial production is also important, and I think rest of it is quite, semi important. Okay, now let's dive into some news. Tomorrow I will live stream the big event by Apple, and people say it's about to that Apple is about to hold the most biggest and significant iPhone event in years, obviously because it will cover the huge trend and new technology 5G, right? And it's a race around the world. Obviously many handset manufacturers already published a great phone out there with 5G capabilities, and Apple is a little bit late, but we know that already, that on some technologies Apple waits until they are having the right technology to start with, that it's nicely usable. And moreover, you might remember they had this big legal fight with Qualcomm, who is one of the leaders of the 5G chips. So finally they put it to rest and will show us what they've been working on the last couple of weeks and years. And then if you haven't yet, make sure to follow my second channel, Wolf of Dubai 2. Either you type it in Google, or you are or in YouTube, obviously. Then you are you can also go down into the description and you will see the link there, because I'm posting today the very first vlog on my second channel. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. Then we are having some news from China. First of all, 70% of all video games revenue in the world's top market comes from China's smaller cities, report finds. And there is, the amazing conclusion or interesting conclusion by then, that you can see that just the sheer masses of people that are in China are actually, can push markets to next level, which is, amazingly, but understandably also for those markets out there, because so many companies and so many industries want to focus on this big share of people that having more and more money to spend. A rising middle class is so powerful, and as you can see, the top gaming markets, the Chinese people are very interesting into gaming. It's very well established into the communities. So as you can see, it's very, very potential, right? Then we are having the renminbi slips as POC, the Public Bank of China, cuts costs for betting against the currency, which then this has basically two effects. One effect is that the people now seeing, okay, the Chinese government, it's a little bit, easier with regulations on finance, which gives the stocks a little bit of an upturn, which gives a positive vibe to the overall global markets. And on the second side, the currency goes a little bit lower when they say the costs of shorting the homeland currency is cheaper, then obviously the currency goes lower, which is good for the country for export, for example. So everything, is pretty well planned through. Don't think ever that this is, just some regular tools. Then we are having an app that was, letting Chinese users bypass the Great Firewall. That is obviously, a huge thing in China. You cannot go on Google or Facebook or any other bigger US companies websites like YouTube, for example. So not many people from China can watch my channel apparently. However, this web browser called Tuber was going away. It's disappeared. Okay, I hope not the people behind it too. So as you can see, many things are happening. Then we have a vaccine going on, and there is this, let's say, pretty interesting concept that you can inhale a vaccine. Okay, so there is a kind of inhaling vaccine option, and this might fuel the overall interesting options that we're having there. And if you inhale it, obviously it's quite interesting because it's going directly to your lungs, where the overall health crisis is very, very strong. So interesting concept. Maybe it will break through, right? So this is something to watch as well. And if you haven't heard, but we talked about it, I think a couple of days ago, that the overall situation with Norway, that they ended strikes on the oil industry, which give the supply more easing. And this obviously helped to give the oil a little bit of a towards movement towards down, right? So so that's pretty much it. I hope that you are having a fantastic start into the week. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and thumb up if you liked it. If you feel now informed, I think that's a very pretty nice start into the week. Make sure to also, follow me on Instagram, and I wish you the best Monday that you ever had. Yeah. And let's hope that Democrats and the Republicans can agree on a stimulus deal, because this will be just the biggest rally bazooka that we can even wish for. So stay tuned, stay safe, subscribe if you're a new one, and I see you in just a couple of hours with my daily vlog.